Good luck.
Okay. I don't remember the order of the labs. Who's the earliest lab? Respiratory, digestive, urinary?
Lymphatic.
Okay. Alright, so let's start, I guess. Okay. Alright, this group is not going to answer, but we're going to see if everybody else can identify what organ. Turn the light off though.
Ooh.
Okay, so which organ has a big crack in it? Tonsil. And then what is this circly thing which is not showing? The germinal center, also called a lymphatic nodule. So if I went like this and I said, what specific type of immune cell is right there? B lymphocytes are in the middle. B lymphocytes. And the name of this crack? Crypts. Okay. Let's go to the next one and see if this still works in the dark. I bet this is even better. Don't get scared. Everybody have a dark buddy. Okay. Let's see. Oh, that's really good looking. Yay, good job. All right. So how do we know it's a lymph node? Okay. What is this called? Capsule. If I said, what is this region? Cortex and the medulla. Okay, great. Thank you for getting the slides. Let's see. On the other side. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Give it a second. Give it a second. Yeah, it is the. So this one is spleen. Spleen. The reason why we know it's the spleen is because these are the type of capillaries that have big holes in them. Bigger sinusoids. Okay, so when we look at this, it will have the same kind of texture as the liver lobule, which also has sinusoids. And then look at the spleen's capsule. It is very thick. Okay? So what's another name for this structure besides germinal center? Lymphatic nodule, and also in the spleen it's called white pulp. White pulp. And then here, this is red pulp. Okay. All right. Any more? One more? One more. Okay. This is the one old slide that is from a juvenile organ. Thymus. So thymus has this thing. Capsule. It has globules, trabeculae, and then cortex. And what type of cell is inside this spot? T lymphocytes, mature T cells. Okay. The end for your group. Beautiful. Okay. So after that, whose group is after 22 maybe? I don't know. Let's go over here. Let's just see, because like the lab exam, sometimes you might just see a slide. What? Oh my gosh. What is happening here? How did you know that?
Because there's lots of area.
Lots of space. So this is emphysema. You also see a little bit of pollutants. So emphysema, what does this do to gas exchange? less, more difficult. Okay, emphysema. Compare that to this disease. Broncho. How do we know it's bronchopneumonia?
All the fluid.
Okay. So, I'll have a better one than this, but that's not so bad. Not so bad, but I have better ones. This disease is characterized by this
Anthracosis.
anthracosis. Let's all say it together. When you see speckles like that, that's anthracosis. That's pollution in your lungs. Who's getting that? All of us, because we want to live in a city. Okay.
No, that's the.
Okay, so I moved this to a different region. Okay. And this is sucks because it's upside down, but okay. This is the trachea. What is that?
That is.
You may have forgotten about this. This is the smooth muscle present in the trachea called the trachealis muscle.
Trachealis.
What layer of the trachea is this? Mucosa, and then submucosa. There's a couple little spots with submucosal glands, maybe one of these. What is this layer called? Cartilaginous layer, and then what's this strip? Perichondrium. Perichondrium. And then the outer layer, this one, adventitia, because it is anchoring the trachea down. So that's a trachea one. And then one more slide before we turn the lights back on. Okay. So there are two types of structures. This one is which type of structure? Well, first, what organ is this from? Lung. Okay. And since these cells are more columnar, cuboidal, this has to be a bronchiole. And then what about right here? Now we switch to what type of tissue? Squamous. So this first part is the alveolar duct, and then this whole thing, sac, and then one of these alveolus. Okay. So the bronchiole, the alveolar duct, the alveolar sac, and then one alveolus. Okay. All right. Let's turn on the light. Ready? Okay. So let's just take pictures of random things. So I'll take a picture of the key. I'll take a picture of this. That. Do a quick view. So what's this? And then this. Primary bronchus. And then this one. Secondary bronchus. So there's 1, 2, and 3. What about these ones at the end? Tertiary. Okay. Right. What about all the way up here? We will look at the other model, I think. Alright. Ooh, your tapes are in interesting places. Let's first go like this. Try to cover up people's faces a little bit. Then we'll turn it around. Oops, sorry. Okay. And then we will show this. Oh my gosh. Okay. Then we will go do that. Okay. Alright, so they use this one. So what is this? Thyroid, cartilage, and this one? Cricoid cartilage, and A? Thyroid bone. Okay. Then we have more of the same bronchi. Let me go back a picture. Can't do it. Do it. Why? Why you know? There we go. What is this flappy thing? Epiglottis. And these vocal folds. And this arytenoid cartilage. There will probably be a diagram, like in the lecture, the pretty diagrams of the epiglottis. Okay. And then I'm just gonna put this back on to try to restore the appearance of the lungs. Okay. So then we have which lung has 3 lobes? Right. So there's the superior, middle, inferior. And what are these lines called? Oblique fissures. Oblique fissures. Okay, let's make sure on this. Okay, so sorry, it was sideways. So inferior, middle, and superior lobes, and oblique fissures. Okay, who's next? Digestive, maybe? Okay, 2 groups for digestive. Turn off the light again for mysterious. The other class didn't get to review. Should we share the notes with them?
Yeah, share with them.
$10.
A whole letter grade.
You guys get $10.
I agree.
I like the sound of that.
Right.
Okay. Which organ is this from? Small intestine. You got it wrong. This is not the stomach. It is the small intestine. Whoever said our stomach was wrong. How do we know it's the small intestine? The villi. Okay. So each of these, this is one villi. Villus. One villus. What are these? What type of glands? These are intestinal glands. Okay, intestinal glands. What layer of the digestive tract is this? The mucosa. What layer of tissue in the mucosa is this?
Pseudostratum flat.
No.
Love.
This is what's annoying about this mucosa. There are 3 cell types or tissue types. There's the epithelium, the lamina propria, which is areolar connective tissue, and this is the muscularis mucosa. Okay. Then the actual submucosa. Then here is one layer of the muscularis. There's the inner circular layer, the outer longitudinal layer. And then I don't really think we have the serosa. Okay, so any questions about those once again? So fingers, finger your small intestine, because the villus shows you it's a small intestine. Let's see the next slide. Alright, this one is, I have no idea what's going on here. Okay, so we'll watch these in a bit. Okay, what is it? Pancreas with the faintest little
Isolates.
pancreatic islets. But what are these cells producing? What do these cells produce? Pancreatic juice, which has alkaline liquid, and why do we talk about the pancreas for the digestive system?
No, not mine.
Enzymes. So there's lipases and proteases and amylases. Okay, so enzymes for the pancreas. Okay, what's over here? What organ? This is the liver. This is the liver. So, what type of capillaries have all these holes in it? Sinusoids. See how stripy it is? Sinusoids. That's for blood cells to get recycled. Central vein. Central vein. Then over here might be a little circle with a zoom in of a better looking image of it. What would you expect this to be if I point in the corner? Hepatic portal triad. Hepatic triad. These interlobular septum. Oh, this is the triad. Because if we zoomed in on it, we could see 1, 2, maybe 3 vessels there. All right, let's look what we got. Triad. So it's a trio of 3 vessels. Okay, so this is not bad. Oop, no, it's kind of fuzzy. Okay, that's slightly less fuzzy. Okay. It looks sideways compared to a model, but what organ is this? Stomach. What's that? The gastric pits. And then this? Gastric gland. What are 3 cell types you could say would be found inside of here? No pseudostratified. It's just simple columnar, but there's 3 types of stomach cells. Parietal cells, chief cells, mucus cells, mucus surface mucus cells, or mucus neck cells. The gastric folds, this is like a fold coming over here, and this is the fold going up again. So the fold is like a big size structure, but we know this is the stomach because it's flat. Okay, any questions? We're gonna turn the lights on. Okay. Alright. Okay, this is good that it's all fuzzy and washed out. Okay. What is that structure called?
Like, or the villi thingies?
A villi thingy? Yes, these are villi. And then this layer here, submucosa. And what is this lump here?
Got some.
It's a Peyer's patch.
Oh.
It's a germinal center.
That
Okay.
makes sense.
And then there's 2 muscularis layers. What's the inner muscularis called? Inner circular, outer longitudinal. So inner circular, outer longitudinal. Oh, what's that green thing? The lacteal of the lymphatic system. Okay. Any more models for you guys? Oh yes, this thing. where we have the 4 layers. Does that look recognizable? This is an intestine. Okay. All right. So the rest of the digestive system over here. Okay. This is gonna have to be split up into a couple sections. So part one. Okay. Number 1. What's on top of number 1?
The nasal conchae.
Nasal conchae. And then this piece, hard palate and
Soft palate.
soft palate. This is the tongue. Okay. What is this right here in front of the epiglottis?
Very.
This is the larynx. This is the laryngopharynx. Okay, and then we go down to the next slide. Okay. What would be right here? Cardiac sphincter, and this one is the pyloric sphincter. What are these ruffly thingies? Gastric rugae. Okay. What's number 8? The liver. Okay. What is this duct? Cystic duct. What about all the way over here? Common bile duct. Common bile duct. Okay. What's the order of the large intestine? Ascending, colon. The whole thing is ascending, colon, transverse, colon, sigmoid, colon, and then this is the rectum to anus. What is this little veriform appendix and this pooch cecum? Okay, and then if you're really being tested, this bend is colic flexure. Colic flexure. Okay, and then we'll have a model of the stomach. And it's 3 tissue layers and the liver lobule to make it more clear. Okay. What's weird about the stomach is that it has 3 which layers? Muscularis layers. So the innermost one is that diagonally one, oblique, circular, and longitudinal, like that. And then these are the gastric glands and stuff like that on top. Okay, I'm gonna take a picture one more time. Okay, let's go on to urinary system. Okay. Alright. This is a oh gosh, you worked for us. What's this?
That's the collector.
What type of epithelium?
Transitional.
This is the bladder. This is a male or female? No. That's a
Those are
prostate
square?
gland at the bottom. That's why it's male. Okay. What would this was actually called, the red one? Artery. Whoa, there's so much stuff. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Let's take a look blood vessels one more time. This would be the
Renal artery.
renal artery. The next one,
Segmental artery. Interlobar.
interlobar,
Lobar. Arcuate.
arcuate,
Interlobular.
lobular. Okay, what if it's the blue one?
Interlobular vein. Arcuate vein. Interlobar vein.
Okay, then we just end there. Okay, what about number 5?
Is that the pelvis?
Pelvis. Okay, what about number 9?
That's the
Column. Number 8.
pyramid.
Number 7.
Papillary.
Renal papilla.
Oh,
Renal papilla. Or this thing,
The minor.
minor calyx. So the minor calyx
Minor
gets urine directly from the renal papilla. And then, what's
Major.
this?
Major calyx.
Major calyx. And this is outside of the pelvis. This is the renal sinus. Renal sinus. Okay, all right. This tube is called the
Afferent.
proximal convoluted tubule, which goes to the
To the nephron.
nephron loop, which goes up to distal convoluted tubule, and then the collecting ducts. It doesn't look so hot in this image. What is number 16?
Glomerulus.
Glomerulus. Okay. What type of blood vessel are 15 and 17 collectively?
Arterials.
Arterials.
Arterial.
Arterials. Okay, and then I think that is all of them. And then they have slides. Slides. Okay. Okay. What is this structure? The glomerulus and this
Glomerular
glomerular capsule. What would be found in this white part? Urine. Yes, urine.
urine.
Okay. Let's look at this tube.
Is that
Which one is it? Proximal convoluted tubule. Why? Filled with
Herring?
villi. What type of microvilli? These are microvilli. Fuzzies, the microvilli. And then what about this one in comparison? Maybe how about this one? Distal convoluted tubule. So proximal versus distal. Those, if we compare those two, because the distal is only slightly fuzzy. Okay, let's see. Backwards. Okay. Okay, this is tricky now. I don't know if I can ask this one. What is this? Yeah. What is it? Well, what kind of cells is this little piece made of? Squamous. So where's their squamous cells in a long piece? The nephron loop. The nephron loop. So nephron loop is good enough. And then what about that one? Those could be 2 or 3 things, but if there's fuzzies inside of them, proximal or distal convoluted tubules. I don't think I found a really good collecting duct, but maybe on this side, maybe this one. This one, this biggest one, could be a collecting duct. Okay. So, let's review. This one, proximal, distal, collecting duct, and then if you want to see a nephron loop, it has to have simple squamous. So these aren't so hot looking. So I'd find one that's really thin and straight. Okay, so that was urinary system. Anything else you guys prepared? Is that all of it? Okay. Oh, is that it? No, there's one more deal. Okay. So let's see. Reproductive teams go on. Okay. So that. Oh no, this is a disease. How do you know what the disease is? Compared to the undiseased state. That's how it goes. So this one the one on the right is this one's normal, and this one is the disease. So it has a long name. BPH for benign prostatic hypertrophy. Okay, hypertrophy. So first, what's one thing that's different between this bladder and stuff and that one?
Enlarged prostate.
Enlarged prostate in this one. What about, let's change from here.
The urethra is squeezed.
The urethra is
Small, pinched.
narrowed, constricted. And then what about that? Retain urine even after voiding. And then the wall of the bladder is thicker. So that's hypertrophy, is when there's thickening of the walls of the bladder. Okay, and then we go back to over here. Okay. So in this case, this is a testy, epididymis. This line, spongy urethra, but the red pink part. Corpus spongiosum, corpus cavernosum. Let's say it together. What's this tissue, Rika? Spongiosum, corpus cavernosum for one. Okay. Seminal vesicle. What's one component that it squirts out? Fructose. Okay. This prostate, that makes this the prostatic urethra. I don't think we can see the little bulbourethral glands, but we can see the bladder. All right. Then they have slides. Oh, wait. What is this little white nut?
Bulbourethral.
Bulbourethral gland. Bulbourethral. What's one thing a bulbourethral gland produces? Mucus. Oh my gosh, what's on the slide?
Lubricant.
What's the ploidy of these cells? N. Capital or N? Capital. Okay. Where did these cells first get produced? Nope. We're gonna practice that one.
Seminiferous down. I think I got that shit.
I put that.
It was between that and the answer she was saying.
So, this is a little bit challenging. Okay. Let's see if I can find any. There's any. Okay. Can't see it on here. Where is this? Where is it gonna be? Aha, okay. What type of cell is that one? Sustentacular. It's sustentacular. Okay, so their job is to nurse developing sperm cells. Okay, on the outside of the seminiferous tubule, spermatogonium, primary spermatocyte, secondary spermatocyte, spermatids. Okay, that are maturing to go into the lumen. Interstitial cells. What's one function? Produce testosterone. Produce testosterone. Or these are better. Produce testosterone. Okay, that's it. Okay, so first remove the tape off of your model.